Looks like we need to get some, remove some mass off this area right in here. So to do that, I'll bevel this down, bring the platform up over in that direction there, and see if we can do that. I like to have that edge nice and straight like that. And I can isolate it as I go along by removing little guide flakes. I got my fan going on over here to kind of keep the dust blowing away from me so that I don't inhale all that silica. Well, once again, I can see if I take a flake off here, it's going to stall out, so I need to take one off here and then come back. Constantly changing direction here, coming back to it. Minor little detours along the way. Set up one right here, and it should travel into here and reduce that fall. This is where this small little bopper here is really nice. It doesn't jar the piece too much. You can actually hit it with a lot of inward force, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay, you can see how that went in there and removed that problem area. Now we can come back in here and take this area out right here. I need to isolate that a little bit. A couple little small flakes in there. Maybe one on the other side for good measure. Got a nice little platform right there. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Might want to remove some of this mass right in here. In this case, I don't think I have enough. That was the first tape. It ran out. This is an old Sony camcorder. It records in digital, but the tapes only last for an hour. It's probably 7 or 8 years old, this camcorder, but you know, it works. I like it. Try and remove a flake in here. Could get it from here, but I think I can get it from here, and that within the base, and maybe from the other side as well. Okay, so that went sliding right across there, and it did a better job than had we come in and gotten it from here. Take a couple small ones off of here. Now, let's reevaluate it. I think we got a little mass right in here. Bring this edge down in this direction, or hit it down so that I can bring the edge up here to remove flakes off in here. Again, when you're preparing these platforms, sometimes you want to grind in between so that you get a nice clean flaking surface there on your platform itself. I'm looking at it, a lot of times I'll do that. It's still not as low as I'd like it. The more I can get it this way, the further I can get the flakes to travel in that direction. If it's too close to the center line, it's kind of risky. Yeah, you can get them to travel a long ways, but it's going to be a really thick flake. And there's a chance that you're going to encounter problems if you do that. So just want to get a little bit closer to this face. You can tell by the sound of these whether or not they're coming off. There's a couple there I didn't like the sound of. And what those are little tiny flakes that are being removed that are like stepper hinge, tiny little stepper hinge fractures. I'll show you this surface here. I think this should be good enough, yeah. So I have a continuous platform set up here. Let's see. You see it there? Yeah. Okay. Now that's, you want to avoid that area. If you hit right there, there's a good chance of hitting high and creating a perverse fracture. I learned that one from that term from Michael Miller there on the Paleo Planet. Okay, some short ones here, then we'll get into here and get a longer one. Okay, we set that up. Not exactly ideal, but that's what I meant. I didn't hit it hard enough. Flake didn't travel far. Not good. But we'll see what we can do over here. A lot of times if you mess up in one direction, you can go to the other end and come back and get it that way. It seems to work a lot. If you just continue on with it, you can create an even greater problem where you have a greater rise coming up into here. It's going to make it harder to get that mass off. So. Okay, now see how that kind of created a ridge over here for this next one. Now I look at it and I see maybe I should come back in here and get a few, either from here or here, and get some of this mass off before continuing on, because I've got a massive area right in here that is probably going to terminate my flakes. I don't know if this damn thing is centered or not. Here, let's see. Okay. Now, I'm losing a little width in doing all this, and this is typically what happens. Normally, I like to try and preserve as much width as you can. Most snappers do. And then once you get it thinned down, depending on the style of point you're making, you can always take the edges in and reduce the width. Good. This one I need to bring that platform up even more. If I don't bring that platform up, what will happen is the flakes are going to terminate right in here maybe, and I'm going to have a kind of a high ridge going down the middle. I don't want that. I want to reduce the thickness of this piece. There are certain points like Clovis that might be fine. You might want that kind of a high area going down the middle to create kind of a ridge for fluting, but this is not a Clovis. A couple guide flakes, and now a longer one. That was another guide flake. Here we go. Okay, so that went over to here. Now, probably come in here, remove this part of the this is an elliptical shaped flake, as they all are. Straighten that ridge out a little bit, essentially isolating the platform. I'm going to try and remove one here. It's a little risky, but okay, that went well. This is that area I was mentioning that's very dangerous right here when you get that kind of a thick little thing going there. This is going to dive in a little bit, but I'm going to try and angle it over here. Yeah, that worked out. Sometimes you can do that. Just instead of hitting them straight in, drive them off in one direction or another in the direction that you want, and save yourself a little effort there. Got an area here, got an area right here, and a little spot back in here. Becomes somewhat repetitious. You're just going back and forth,